What is going on, guys? It is Constable Chen coming back at you with another Madden 17 video. Today we're doing another request rebuild challenge from Tim Gray, who says make a team out of undrafted rookie players. So that's what we are doing today. So we are in actually year number 2. I just picked the New York Giants. So I just simmed the first season, and we are in season number 2. So I released everybody, picked up all these undrafted rookies from free agency. So this is what the team's going to be looking like. Every position is either a D or a C. So the team's not going to be good. Obviously, this is probably going to be my hardest challenge yet. So we'll see how we do. This might be like more than the usual 3 years to do a rebuild. Might be 5 plus maybe. So this is my quarterback, Joshua Tanner out of Auburn. I think he's a mobile quarterback. He's got 87 speed and like 89 acceleration. Which is good, and he's also got decent accuracy as well. His throw power is not that great, only an 86. Usually I like mid 90s at least. Other than that, I think my running back, I think my fullback's actually my best plus player, 73. Usually could find actually pretty decent undrafted rookie fullbacks in free agency usually. I got a 71 overall center. My running back, I got 272 running backs. Best wide receiver, I got 368 overall, guys. My tight ends is 72, so that's all right. Defensively, my 2 safeties are my best players. Cleveland's a 73 at free safety, and Mooten is a 71 at strong safety, and Rowe is a 70 overall right end. So this is what the team's going to be looking like heading into year number 1. I'm probably going to have these guys on my team for the long run because they're going to be getting this XP and going up in overall early. Other than the other years, there might be maybe a good undrafted free agent or 2 that I could pick up. But I want to primarily build with the guys I have right here. Usually with these guys, they're all right players, but you just really have to boost their awareness and their play rec, because those are usually like in the 40s and 50s. So that's primarily what I'm going to spend my XP on this year. So we're going to sim right to the playoffs, and we'll see if we go 0-16. So after year number 1, we didn't make the playoffs, obviously, so we'll take a look on how we did, and we went 1-15. So we actually won a football game, which is kind of a surprise. It's the worst roster I think I've ever seen. So Joshua Tanner, 2,935 yards, 8 touchdowns, 11 interceptions in 16 games, so that's not good at all. Rushing, Deion Slayton, 686 and 10 touchdowns. Receiving, my leader was Vaughn Jones, 55 receptions, 665 and 3 touchdowns. Also, Kendall Fluker had 55 receptions for 639 and 3 touchdowns. Defensively, oh my god, first play I've ever seen with over 200 tackles. My middle linebacker, Connor Poe, with 205 tackles. You could tell my defense was on the field a lot with that amount of tackles. And Demetrius Dyson, my right outside linebacker, also had 163. So some big stats there. We'll actually take a look at some awards because they might actually won some. Sacks was Lewis Clemmings, my defensive tackle, with 4, and interceptions was Dyson with 2 and Breston with 2 as well. Kicking, Andrew Frey was 11 for 16. Punting, Glimpf was, I don't know, he punted a lot basically. Kick returns probably had none. Punt returns probably same thing, none. So let's take a look at some awards. Looking at some awards, Ezekiel Elliott won MVP in his sophomore year. Probably put up a lot of yards on my defense since we were in the same division. Coach of the year, Jason Garrett. And in the NFC, I'm sure we don't have anybody in the offensive defensive player of the year. Maybe our linebacker actually. He finished 9th on the list, offensive rookie. Any Giants, probably not. Defensive rookie. Our linebacker's not even up here. I thought 205 tackles isn't even good enough. Didn't even make the top 10. That's disappointing. Best linebacker, we'll check too. And he is number 10 on the list. I'm not sure why he wasn't defensive rookie. Yeah, I think he had a pretty decent year. So that's going to do it for year number 1. I'll spend this player XP. I think this mid linebacker actually has like 33,000 XP. We'll take a look here. Yeah, he's got 33,000 XP, so that's really the only bright spot on this team. So I'll spend this XP and we will kick off year number 2 in free agency, and we'll see if there's any better undrafted rookies. So we're in year number 2 in this undrafted team. I just simmed the draft, and I guess I had the first pick, and they went quarterback Marcus Daly. He's a rookie out of Ohio State, superstar development, and it hurts me to do this, but since he's a drafted player and we need undrafted, so I gotta cut him. And he is gonna be... Why didn't he cut? Why is he still on my team? There we go, he's off the roster. So now let's go to free agency and see if there's any other good undrafted players that were in this year's draft. So I'm seeing some actually decent guys. A 74 overall tight end, Samuel Jensen, a kicker, a punter. I think I need both those positions. A 73 overall strong safety, another tight end, some more kickers, some free safeties. Anything really in the 70s is actually good for this team. There's a center that's probably going to pick up. Do I need a fullback? I'm not sure. I'll have to double check that. I see quite a bit of guys in the 70s, so I'm probably going to pick up most of these guys, and then I will show you guys my team. So I ended up picking up a couple free agents, not too much for the most part, still have the same guys from year 1. And at some positions, we're starting to get out of the D rankings. You're seeing more C's, and we actually have a C+ at tight end, so that's pretty good. Still, I don't think we're going to do too good. Last year we were 1-15. Probably going to do the same this year. I think the hardest thing is just going to get a quarterback and develop him. Definitely don't think this Joshua Tanner is our guy for the future. So maybe next year there'll be a good quarterback because there wasn't one this year. This guy's more of a mobile guy. I kind of just want like a pocket passer type guy. But I spent some player XP, and we have some guys starting to go in the 70s, so which is pretty good. So I think my best player is probably my tight end. Mabray is a 76. O-line still not good. Wide receivers, I got one that's in the 70s. 2 73 overall running backs. On the defensive side of the ball, my D-line's actually all in the 70s, so that's pretty good. And that middle linebacker, he almost had 34,000 XP, so I boosted him to a 79. So by next year, I will have my first 80 overall player, which is going to be good. Also have 4 70 overall corners. Right outside linebacker is a 72, left outside 70. The Scherf guy picked up in free agency is a 73 rookie, so I'm going to start him over Moulton. And Cleveland's a 75 at free safety, so that's pretty good. Also starting a rookie kicker in Jensen. And my Gilmf guy is 75 overall punter, so he's probably second best on my team. So this is what the team's looking like in year number 2 on my all undrafted team. So we're going to sim to the playoffs, and we will see how we do. So after year number 2, we didn't make the playoffs again, obviously. A lot of guys regressed, and our record was 4-12 actually, so actually not that bad. Joshua Tanner, my quarterback, 2,806 yards, 20 touchdowns to 23 interceptions. Rushing, Deion Slayton, 809 and 6 touchdowns. Receiving, Kendall Fluker, 55 catches, 671 and 3 touchdowns, led my team. Defense, Connor Poe, my middle linebacker, led the team in tackles again with 162 tackles for loss. Was Lewis Clemmings, my defensive tackle, with 9. And quarterback sacks was Demetrius Dockett, my other defensive tackle, with 7.5. Interceptions was Demetrius Dyson, my right outside linebacker, had 4. Kicking, Jensen was only 7 for 14, so that's not good. Might have to find a new kicker. My punter punted it a lot, basically. I had 2 kick returns for a touchdown and no punt returns for a touchdown. So, wow, that's not good at all. So my offense was 32nd and my defense was 29th. So we improved on defense, but not on offense. Last year, record was 1-15. My offense was ranked 32nd in the league, and my defense was ranked 32nd as well. So we had the worst offense and defense. This year, just the worst offense, but slowly improved on defense a little bit, and improved our record as well to 4-12. So, do another year, and we'll see you guys for agency in year number 3. So in year number 3, after spending some player XP, this is what the team's looking like. More players are starting to get in the 70s, mid-70s and stuff like that, but the quarterback is still, most important position on a football team, and it's still not good on this one. So I still want to get that better, obviously, but maybe we'll check free agency in just a sec. So, O-line, not that good. Tight end, 76 overall. Mabry, he's half decent. Also have some pretty decent backups. Receivers, Belcher went to a 73. Also, Fluker's a 73 as well. 2 running backs are 73. Fullback is a 73 as well. Go to the defensive side of the ball. Defensive tackles are actually decent. Clemmings is a 76, and Dawkins a 74. Rose a 74, and Atogwe is a 72 at defensive end. My first 80 overall player is my middle linebacker at Poe. I probably could have got him higher, but I just concentrated on tackling, got that up to a 76, so I just got to work on play rec and awareness next year, really. Dyson, right outside linebacker, is a 76, so that's decent. My safeties are actually decent. Moulton, 75, and Cleveland's a 78, so that's decent. Breston is a 74 overall corner, and then I got a bunch at like 72. So now let's take a look at some free agency, and hopefully there's some decent guys. This is a player they drafted for me in the first round, this quarterback out of Wisconsin, so I cut him. I think he's only got normal development. I do need a kicker. This Jensen guy, he was 7 for 14 last year. His awareness is not good at all. Well, I was going to say his accuracy is not good at all. Only 80 overall. But I'm still going to re-sign him. And then other than that, what else? We have a 72 overall rookie corner. That's pretty decent. His zone coverage is 87. Maybe I'll move him to safety and see how he is. So I'll pick him up. Going to put this center out of Idaho State, probably move him to one of my offensive guard positions. So heading into year number 3, the only notable change I really made in free agency was picking up this quarterback, Bryce McAdoo. I'm going to be starting him. He's 22 years old, strong arm quarterback. His throw power is a 97, so really all I have to work on once I get XP is his awareness and his accuracy. So hopefully he gets some good XP, because if I could develop this guy, then he could be pretty good, but the surrounding cast around him is still terrible. The only person I have in the 80s is my middle linebacker. He has a quick development now, so that's pretty sweet. So hopefully by next year, at least I think my free safety and my strong safety could get there. Maybe my right outside linebacker and a defensive tackle can get to the 80 overall. But as for offense, it's still going to suck. It's when your team sucks like this, your defense is going to be on the field a lot, and they'll be getting a lot of tackles and stuff. So for them to get XP is going to be a lot easier than having a shitty offense, because my quarterback sucks. But hopefully this McAdoo guy is a little bit better, but we'll see. So we're going to sim to the playoffs, and we'll see you guys there. At the end of year number 3, didn't make the playoffs yet again. A lot of guys regressed, and our record is 2-14. So we took a step back from our 4-12 performance last year. So let's take a look at some stats. The rookie Bryce McAdoo, 2,864 yards, 10 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Not good. Rushing, Samuel Gainter, 707 and 2 touchdowns. Receiving, Willis Belcher, 62 catches, 799 and 2 touchdowns, led my team. On defense, it was Connor Poe for 3 years in a row, leading the team in tackles with 178. Tackles for loss was Lewis Clemmings with 9, and quarterback sacks was my left end, Demetrius Atugwe with 7, and interceptions was Dyson with 2, and Frank Cleveland, my free safety, also had 2. So another year of disappointment. Let's also take a look at our offense. 32nd offense in the league, so we've been worst all 3 years, and our defense is 27th. So we're actually getting better on defense each year, but our offense still sucks just because our quarterback can't get any better, and we can't find a good one. So another year in the books. Gonna kick off year number 4. We will see you guys in free agency. So we are in year number 4, and looks like they drafted a couple quarterbacks for me. Actually, this one's got superstar development. See you later. And they actually drafted 2 of them, so I guess they got this guy in the 2nd or 3rd round, probably. Humphreys. He has normal development, but still pretty good attributes actually, and we'll let him go as well. So this is what the team's looking like before I look in free agency. Still no 80 overall player on offense. Got a 75 running back, 75 wide receiver, 78 tight end is my best. O-line, not looking too good. On the defense, though, Poe, my middle linebacker, is an 84. Defensive line, no one's over 80. I have a 76 corner, which is pretty good. And my free safety is an 80, so I'm pretty excited about that. And my strong safety is a 78. He's almost there. So let's take a look at free agency here and see if there's any other undrafted rookies that we could pick up. So let's go practice squad eligible. So these are the two quarterbacks. There's a 75 overall free safety. So I'm definitely going to pick this guy up for sure. Fullback 75. I don't think we need one. Kicker, no. Another fullback. 73 center. That's actually pretty decent. We'll pick him up. Halfback. I think I'll pick up this halfback. Zolak out of Central Michigan. Who else is there here? A lot of safeties and free safeties that get undrafted in this game. 70 overall right guard, Griffin Davenport. Let's pick him up. He looks pretty decent, actually. And other than that, that's probably going to be it. So I'm going to cut the other rookies that they drafted me, and I'll show you guys my team in just a sec. So I'm ready to start year number 4. My quarterback McAdoo, it went up to a 69. I improved his short accuracy and mid accuracy a little bit along with his awareness. His awareness is still 55. So once I boost that up in accuracy, it should be pretty good. But I need more XP to work with, or that's going to take too long. Running back 75. My offense not that good. I do have a 75 overall wide receiver finally. No one is over 80 on this offense though. Defensively, it actually looks a lot better. Everyone's at least a C. I actually have a B- at free safety. Cleveland's at 80. Defensive line, row should hit 80 overall by next year. 2 76 overall defensive tackles and a 74 overall left end. McDonald is a 76 cornerback, so that's actually pretty decent. I have 2 74 overall guys and 2 72 overall corners. Scherf is a 78 overall strong safety, so hopefully by next year he will be an 80 along with my red outside linebacker. And my best player on my team is Poe, my middle linebacker, just because he sees a lot of tackles because my offense goes 3 and out a lot and my defense is on the field primarily probably the whole game. So this is what the team's going to be looking like heading into year 4. And we'll start simming and we'll see you guys in the playoffs again. Year number 4 is in the books, so let's take a look on what our record is. And looks like this is 3 years in a row that we finished 2-14. So let's take a look at some stats, and then we'll get another year underway, I guess. So Bryce McAdoo, it was better than last year for sure. 2,844 yards, 17 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. He was sacked 72 times. That is terrible. Oh my goodness. Let's go to rushing first. Deion Slayton, 709 and 2 touchdowns. Receiving, Kendall Fluker had 57 receptions, 888 yards and 4 touchdowns, led my team. Blocking, let's see who was letting up sacks. Carlos Davis, my left tackle, led up 34 sacks by himself. That's not good. Defensively, this is the first year Connor Poe didn't lead my team in tackles. He was one shy of tying Demetrius Dyson, my red outside linebacker. He had 163 tackles for loss. Was Lewis Clemmings, my defensive tackle. I think he led that category each year. And quarterback sacks was Adrian Rowe, right end with 6.5. And interceptions was Kelvin Breston with 4. So we had the worst offense for 4 years in a row. And our defense is starting to go down again. Last year we were 27. This year we are 31st, so second worst in the league. So we're heading into year number 5. I'm not sure how many years I'm going to do of this because this is, I'm sure this is like impossible to do, but I'm going to keep on doing it anyway. So we'll head into year number 5. I'll see you guys at free agency. So at the start of year number 5, this is what the team's going to be looking like. I have my first 80 overall player on the offense, and that's Mabray, my tight end, who these players are getting old now. Like Mabray's 27. To spend XP on guys, stuff's costing more XP, and if they don't have a lot of XP, to start off with, and it's expensive to buy it, then they're not going to be going up in overall. So Bryce McAdoo, though, he's a 70 overall now, so starting to get somewhat of a quarterback. I improved his awareness by 10 and his accuracy a little bit. So he's got the arm. Accuracy still needs to get worked on, and that awareness. Then we should be in business. As for the rest of the team, 275 overall receivers, so that's pretty decent. Running backs aren't good. O-line sucks. I can't get XP with this O-line because, I don't know, it's just not happening. Defensive side of the ball, though, it looks a lot better. My D-line's actually pretty decent. Everyone's at least over 76. Rowe and Clemens are both 78. I have 3 76 overall cornerbacks, so that's actually pretty decent. Linebacker core is starting to come together. Poe's is 84, Dyson's a 79 still, and Shazor is a 76. And probably the other bright spot are my safeties. Scherf's an 80, and Cleveland's an 81. So those are 2 positions that are over a B on my team. Those are probably and my tight end. So those 3 positions are the best of my team. I'd say middle linebacker too, but it's only a C+ for Connor Poe there. So this is what the team's looking like before I look at some friends. Again, they drafted 2 quarterbacks for me, so I let them go. So we'll look at top 100, practice squad eligible. So these are the 2 guys they drafted for me. And I'm going to take a look at this guy, see where he was drafted. I'm going to sign him, and then I'll do that after because I don't think I could see it from here. But he was probably drafted because he's 76 overall. Pozluzny, good fullback. I'm actually going to pick him up. He's got way better blocking than my other guy. This is a good fullback too, actually, but I'll go with the other guy. Zach Rudd at kicker. Better accuracy than my guy. I'm actually going to pick him up. Pick up Zach Rudd at kicker. Punters, I think I'm good. Tight ends, I believe I'm good there as well. Outside linebackers, a lot of undrafted safeties. There's a Mike Lay, a center. I don't think I need centers. I think we're good at that spot. Other than that, I really don't see anything we need. So I'll show you guys my team before we get this underway. So this is what the undrafted team looks like heading into year number 5. In 4 years, we have won 4, 5, 6, 9 games. So we are not having success at all. So I think really the only change is I brought in a new fullback. I did bring in a 76 overall linebacker, but I checked and he was drafted last year in the 2nd round, so I let him go. And I ended up keeping my kicker, Jensen, because he actually did have better accuracy than the other guy. So we do have 4 80 overall players on our team. 1's on offense, 3 on defense. This is what the offense is going to be looking like. O-line's terrible. Tight ends are actually decent. Receivers are decent, I guess. Running backs aren't really good. Quarterback hopefully gets some good XP. Probably not, though. Defensively, looks a little bit better than the offense. D-line's decent. Linebacking core is decent. Safeties are actually pretty good. And corners are decent as well. So we're going to keep on simming. I'll do a couple more years, and then I'll tap out. We'll call her quits, because I think this is impossible to do. So we'll sim, and we will see you guys in the playoffs again. Well, after year number 5, we are in the playoffs. Didn't make the playoffs, obviously, again. A lot of guys regressed because our team sucks. So let's take a look at some stats. Our record was 1-15. So we matched our record from year number 1 and only got 1 win. So let's take a look at some stats. Passing is, I think I've been saying McAdoo, but I think it's McAdoo. But I'll just call him McAdoo anyway. What the hell? 3,100, 41 yards, 14 touchdowns to 22 interceptions. So not good. Rushing, Nathan Zolak, 690 or 629 and 7 touchdowns. I've yet to have a 1,000-yard rusher or receiver. So Vaughn Jones, 796, 2 touchdowns. Willis Belcher had 879 and 7 touchdowns. So we're getting closer there. On defense, Demetrius Dyson led the team in tackles for 2 years in a row with 160. Tackles for loss was Lewis Clemmings again. I think he's got it 05 years with 11. And quarterback sacks was Demetrius Atogwe with 7. Also Dockett had 7 as well at the defensive tackle spot. Samuel Jensen actually had a good year kicking, 86%, only missed 2 field goals. Any kick returns? No. punt returns, none. So this is year number 5, 1 in 15. This is so hard, but we're gonna this is year 5. I might do one more year. We'll do year 6, and then I'll probably do it for this video if you guys want to see more. I don't know, maybe I could keep on going with this league if you want, but this is very hard to do. So we are going to sim to next year, and we'll see you guys in the free agency. So we are in year number 6. I'm going to stick with this team. I looked in free agency. There was no one worth picking up that was going to make an improvement at any position. So we're going to work with what we got here. McAdoo, 74 overall quarterback. That's the highest overall quarterback I've had yet. He's got some decent receivers to throw to. O-line's starting to get a little bit better. My center's now is 77. Tight end, I got some pretty decent tight ends as well. Defensive side of the ball, my D-line's pretty decent. Linebacking core is pretty good. Dyson's an 81 and Poe's 86 now, so he's been my best overall player by far. My safeties are pretty good too. Scherf's an 80 and Cleveland's an 81, and I have a 78 overall cornerback in McDonald, and Breston's a 76 and Veal's a 74. So the corners are actually decent. So this is what the team's looking like heading into year number 6. I'm gonna predict we go 4 and 12. I think this might be a 4 and 12 team. I hope anyway. So we're gonna sim ahead, and we'll see you guys in the playoffs. But the end of year number 6, missed the playoffs again. No surprise there. Our record was 4 and 12, just like I predicted. Looking at some stats, my quarterback, 2,700, 41 yards, 10 touchdowns to 13 interceptions. Rushing was Nathan Zolak, 782 and 6 touchdowns. Receiving was Belcher with 673 and 5 touchdowns. And yardage, Fluker had that with 734. On the defense, Connor Poe led my team in tackles again, 150. Dyson had 140. Quarterback sacks was Adrian Rowe with 6.5, and tackles for loss was Lewis Clemmings, who led my team in that category all 6 years. Interceptions, McDonald had 3, same with Poe. Our offense was ranked 32nd in the league, so we got that all 6 years, so at least we're consistent. And defense was 28th, so we went up in that category. So after 6 years of simming this league, I have won 14 games in total. My record is 14 and 82. My best offensive ranking, as in yards, is 32nd, which is worst. I finished worst every year, and my defense got as high as 27th ranked defense in the league. So my offense was definitely the problem in this. I just couldn't find a quarterback. I'm not sure if you guys have tried this or are going to try it. Let me know how you turned out with your team. I just couldn't find any good undrafted free agents, and usually there might be a diamond in the rough every couple years, but I just couldn't find one. My best player was Connor Poe, middle linebacker. He developed nice because he was on the field a lot and getting a lot of tackles. His first year, he had 205 tackles. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thanks again, Tim, for the request. This was definitely the hardest challenge for me to do, and probably the hardest one out there. So I appreciate it. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.